Carl Jung's life was a journey from inner chaos to profound insight, shaped by relentless struggles and the courage to confront his darkest fears. Born into a family haunted by mental illness and a crisis of faith, Jung grew up isolated, questioning everything around him. He found purpose as a psychiatrist and later formed a close bond with Sigmund Freud, seeing in him a mentor and friend. But as their ideas diverged, Jung's focus on spirituality and the unconscious led to a painful break, leaving him isolated and alienated from the psychoanalytic community. This personal crisis plunged Jung into years of psychological turmoil. He experienced vivid dreams and visions that sometimes pushed him to the edge of madness. Yet instead of resisting, he chose to dive into this mysterious realm, exploring his own unconscious mind. This terrifying journey would become his life's greatest breakthrough, leading to his theories of archetypes, the collective unconscious, and individuation, the idea of becoming one's true self. Despite skepticism from peers and years of isolation, Jung's dedication to uncovering the human soul's depths ultimately brought him recognition as one of psychology's most transformative thinkers. His courage to embrace his inner battles turned his struggles into insights that continue to inspire and guide people worldwide on their own journeys toward wholeness. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Who has fully realized that history is not contained in thick books, but lives in our very blood? A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. Show me a sane man, and I will cure him for you. Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling. We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. I shall not commit to the fashionable stupidity of regarding everything I cannot explain as a fraud. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. The pendulum of the mind oscillates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. If one does not understand a person, one tends to regard him as a fool. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Whatever is rejected from the self appears in the world as an event. To ask the right question is already half the solution of a problem. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. Wholeness is not achieved by cutting off a portion of one's being, but by integration of the contraries. Man needs difficulties. They are necessary for health. We meet ourselves time and again in 1,000 disguises on the path of life. A dream that is not understood remains a mere occurrence. Understood, it becomes a living experience. I don't aspire to be a good man. I aspire to be a whole man. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. An understanding heart is everything in a teacher, and cannot be esteemed highly enough. Loneliness does not come from having no people around, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to oneself. Nothing has a stronger influence psychologically on their environment, and especially on their children, than the unlived life of the parent. Your perception will become clear only when you can look into your soul. The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. The psyche is the greatest of all cosmic wonders and the sine qua non of the world as an object. Life really does begin at 40. Up until then, you are just doing research. The healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers.